Welcome back to TWU Local 591 podcast. My name is Gary Scheibel, your local president. This is our weekly membership video update podcast. Joining me today is your vice president, Brian Coyne. So I'm going to just get right into it with the peer support, EAP and benefits update. Our peer support coordinators want to remind the reps and also all of our members that the 591 peer support team is always available not only to help members, but also to help their families with navigating the challenges and life issues. So important reminder, please contact them. ASAP compliance update. The first compliance topic is what we used to call the 100% in accordance with policy program. Remember that nearly every task we accomplish has a manual reference. And we must use that manual reference while performing the task. That required 100% in accordance with policy is still in effect for all of us. So on top of that, 100% in accordance with topic, we all own all of our content that we sign for. This includes not just the steps to accomplish the task, but also using the required PPE, that's personal protective equipment, and complying with all of the notes, cautions, and warnings. Let me move into safety. As of March 8th, there have been 383 tech ops reported injuries. That's almost 6 injuries each day of 2026. So AMTs had 251, MLS 83, GSE 16, facilities 26, utility 1. Probably more that go unreported. On those unreported injuries, please remember if you slip, trip, or fall, that's also an injury. So please report it. It also gives us an opportunity to investigate whatever may have caused that injury. Any injury, no matter how minor, we need you to report it. You might think it may mean nothing to your situation, but it could save another member from getting injured from the exact same hazard. So please report them. The next topic in safety is smoke, odor, fumes, the task and the cards, and smoke, odor, fume events. So when accomplishing any of these cards, if you experience any symptoms, and or adverse effects, please vacate the area immediately, get medical attention as needed, and when able, report the injury to management. Make sure that the injury report clearly states that you were accomplishing a smoke, odor, fumes troubleshooting task. This is so we're able at the local to know what happened during the smoke, odor, fume task to investigate further with the company. And as always, we at Local 591 want everyone to come to work safe, be safe at work, and also get home to their families and loved ones safely.
Thanks, Gary. Go to the grievance update. The Article 19 Alpha arbitration briefs deadline has been moved back 1 week by mutual agreement of the attorneys to Monday, March 16th. As we discussed on last week's video, this is not at all abnormal during the brief writing process. Often the attorneys or union representatives, if the union presents the case without attorneys, request deadline extensions, even multiple extensions. We're seeing an uptick in workforce admin not willing to provide specific overtime and field trip sign-up sheets and reports when investigating agreements. I am working with labor relations to resolve the obvious contractual violation. What we need is the updated to solve these grievances at the lowest possible level. So I will go into the field trip update. Executive Board member Chris Horvath reported that he tracked, for the week of March 13th, 37 line field trips and 6 base field trips. Chris also reported there are hotels that are charging members on field trip. And Chris contacted the hotel desk, and the issue is still in the works to get resolved. In the Article 6K meetings this week, there were 3 trips that will be paid for exceeding the 8-hour Article 6K settlement agreement threshold. And several other aircraft are still being investigated. Membership meetings. The next scheduled membership meetings are in the Southwest region at DFW on Wednesday, March 18th. The times and location are on the 591 homepage. Several on the board will be traveling to Raleigh, Durham, Philly, and Washington, D.C. stations for station visits the week of March 23rd. Details of when are be posted on the website. Times will fluctuate based upon flights or escort requirements. Seniority protests. Executive Board member Russ Dittmer will be working with the Local 567, the IAM, and the company labor relations in the week of March 23rd. He'll be working on obtaining answers to any outstanding seniority protests and making sure they are sent out to the members who submitted protests that have not been answered. Gary?
All right, thanks. All right, so we've been talking about this problem on these calls and these videos for about a few months now. So we're starting to hear management and possibly some crew chiefs having an issue with members not answering their teams while actively working on a task. This is not acceptable. When you're in the middle of work, the tablets need to only be used for accomplishing that work. When you're doing a walk around, changing an engine, replacing a wheel and or a brake, etc., interrupting your work to answer those Teams calls is absolutely a breach of the dirty dozen. We all know what they are. If you're assigned and you're working the task and the crew chief needs an update, they can come out and to you and ask you what they need to know and when it's safe to do so. In addition, with the company focus on their my stats and those percentages and numbers, there's no question at this point that this is just pure industrialized bullying. That being putting pressure, coaching and counseling, and then documenting that you're not meeting their arbitrary BS MyStat metrics is out of hand. And I've asked our association to take a position on this, but to date, they have not. The company knows their system and their metrics are flawed and don't capture accurate enough data. They don't care. They're pushing from the highest levels within this company anyway. We need you, all of you, to please provide us with the documentation and details of all the events where the tablets and our management are exposing you to risk and including interrupting tasks, causing undue stress at work from MyStats, etc. We need more documented events from you, the membership, to better attack these growing problems. One of our station chairmen said it best. These iPads assigned to you, they're not some sort of Christmas gift from the company. Those iPads are tracking everything you do on them, both work and non-work related, and everywhere you go. The company can and will track where the tablet is assigned to you in real time whenever they feel the need. They are utilizing a program called GS Planner that does most of this tracking for them, and it actually will decide the numbers that are used on a bid. They call it GS Planner. Brian and I call it BS Planner because it's placed purely on bull you know what. Brian?
So the motion update. An update was requested on a motion submitted at the February national meeting in Miami to add a $50 cell phone allowance for stewards. The update provided is that on the executive board meetings on Wednesday, March 11, the motion was untabled and proposed amendment question will, for the local 591 bylaws, be open for the membership to provide their input on April 1st for the month of April. And also in accordance with our bylaws, will be read by Recording Secretary Johnny Benyard for any discussion at membership meetings. After that month of input from the members, the board plans to review all submitted member input at the scheduled board meeting in May. Move on to the final topic. The issue of members performing self-audits was brought up again. We at Local 591 need to remember all of our members, while you may have attended training on accomplishing self-audits for or with management, those self-audit duties are outside of your contractual scope of work. You're effectively working in a management capacity if you do this work. If the FAA, DOL, OSHA, etc. reviews your sign for self-audits, you will not have a strong union negotiated protections within the CBA because you were not working within your CBA scope of work. The company is who will need to assist and or defend you in these circumstances. Simply put, think twice about whether any possible benefit you might get for doing management job for them is worth the legal risk. In closing, reminder, we at Local 591 have a Facebook page and a YouTube page. Please subscribe to them to get updates and notifications when new info is posted. As always, any thoughts, issues, or suggestions for future podcasts, please send them to info@local591.com.
All right. Well said. Well, that's it for this week. Hope you all have a great week and please stay safe.